So Bradford City continue their 2024-25 league campaign as they are on the road once again to face Nigel Adkins Tranmere Rovers, and in today's video you're going to find out how both teams have got on so far this season and what my starting 11 would be if I was Graham Alexander. So my team at Bradford City, we currently sit 9th in the Sky Bet League 2 table. After 10 matches we've got 4 wins, 3 draws and 3 defeats, scoring 14 goals and conceding 11, which leaves us on a positive 3 goal difference and 15 points. Our last couple of matches then have been a win, a draw, a loss, a draw and a loss. Them last couple of matches then being a 3-1 win at home to Newport County. A very comfortable win in all honesty. Newport had some good chances in the game, but we never really felt too threatened by them from an attacking point of view, and obviously statistically we did have some of the better chances, some really good goals in there from us. Just before that we had a 1-1 draw away at Morecambe. We were really poor in this one, probably didn't even deserve to get a point out of it. Jack Shepherd scraped an equaliser quite late on in that game after a very early Czech Diabate own goal, but we had a lot of the ball, didn't really do much with it, and Morecambe missed some pretty big chances in that game. We also had a 2-1 defeat away at Harrogate Town. We were absolutely shocking in this one, especially the first 25 minutes or so. We were absolutely terrible, conceded 2 really poor goals. Harrogate always get up for these games, Bradford City very rarely do. We managed to pull a goal back through Andy Cook after a big error from Anthony O'Connor, but we never really looked like scoring after that, and we obviously came away from the game with another frustrating defeat. We also had a 0-0 draw at home to AFC Wimbledon. A point was probably a fair result for both sides. They had some really good chances, although they didn't actually have a shot on target. The most notable moment of the match was a challenge from Richie Smallwood at the end, which caused a bit of confrontation between the two sets of players. But yeah, a point was a bit of a frustrating one in all honesty. And we also had a 3-0 win away at Mansfield Town in the Football League Trophy. They made a lot of changes, we made a fair few changes as well, but it was a very comfortable win for us. They never really threatened us all too much going forward, and defensively they did look a bit vulnerable, as you would expect really, because they did make a lot of substitutions and changes in the team. Compared though to Saturday's opposition in Tranmere Rovers, they currently sit 17th in the Sky Bet League 2 table. After 9 matches, they've got 2 wins, 5 draws and 2 defeats, only scoring the 5 goals, but also only conceding the 9, which leaves them on a -4 goal difference and 11 points. Their last couple of matches then have been a draw, a loss and a loss. Them last couple of matches then been a 2-1 win at home to Accrington Stanley in the Football League Trophy. It was a pretty comfortable win for Tranmere. You look at the stats there, they've absolutely battered them in the game. Obviously Accrington got a very late red card in that match, but you look at the statistics, Accrington I would assume felt like they never really had a foothold in the match. They also had a 1-1 draw away at MK Dons, scoring a 91st minute equaliser, Regan Hendry with the goal in that one. Statistically it was a pretty even game. You'd expect MK Dons to have 65-70% of possession, but while MK Dons probably were the better side, I wouldn't say it was a massive landslide in the game, and Tranmere obviously managed to defend it very well and obviously got their rewards in the 91st minute. They also had a 1-1 draw at home to Swindon. It wasn't the most entertaining of matches. There were a lot of shots in the game, not many shots on target, very equal in terms of the possession, and you look at where both teams are in the table at the moment, a point was probably a result you would expect for both sides. They also had a 0-0 draw at home to Salford City. They had a lot of shots, a lot of chances in this game, but were just unable to convert, and again they had more of the ball. You would expect them to statistically at least get a goal in that game, but they have been struggling to convert their chances quite a lot so far this season. And they also had a 3-0 loss away at Colchester, where to be fair they were actually probably the better side, more shots, a lot more possession as well, a much higher passing accuracy, a lot more passes attempted, but Colchester were very clinical, they were better in both boxes and probably deserved the 3 points in the end. Before we do any further though with today's video, don't forget to drop a like on there for me and subscribe to the channel as well if you are new. Can we try and hit 50 likes on today's video? That would be massively appreciated. And don't forget to get your thoughts in down in the comment section down below. What would your start 11 be if you were Graham Alexander, and what is your score prediction for this match? My score prediction is available to go check out now over on the main channel. In terms of the formation for this game then, it absolutely has to be the 3-1-4-2. We look so much better and much more comfortable playing in this formation, and the 4-4-2 never really worked out for us apart from in the game against Mansfield, so we have to stick with the 3-1-4-2. In goal I've gone with Sam Walker. On Monday night against Newport I don't think he was amazing in all honesty. Don't think he actually made a save in the entire match. While Newport had some good chances, a lot of them were either going off target or were blocked by the defenders, and the goal, like I say, you can't really do much about that. There was an incident in the first half though where a cross came into the box, and you got to remember Sam Walker's 6'6", 6'7". He kind of just completely got lost in no man's land, and it was a tapping at the back post for Wildig, the former Morecambe attacking midfielder, and thankfully put it back across the face of goal and it went out of play for a goal kick. He got away with that when I don't think his distribution was really too much to shout about in terms of negatively or positively, so Sam Walker would start in between the sticks. In terms of my back three then, at right centre-back, I've gone with Czech Diabate. I thought Aidan Baldwin would have been back for this one, but Graham Alexander is still not rushing him back for this match. He's been back in training now for nearly 2 weeks, but Alexander doesn't really want to play him yet. He's still saying he's unavailable, so I'm going to go with Czech Diabate. With our lack of centre-half options, I think Diabate has been pretty poor in the last couple of weeks, and I don't think he was amazing on Tuesday, in all honesty. There's a few times I just think he's a little bit too casual or can be a bit clumsy, which is a bit of a shame, because I remember in the match, you know, around AFC Wimbledon at home sort of time where he's been brilliant, but since then he's been on a slow decline, so fingers crossed he can get back to his best in this match, and I would start him at right centre-back if Aidan Baldwin is to be unavailable. In the middle, I've gone with Neil Byrne. Now, for the large part this season, I haven't been a big fan of the former Tranmere Rovers defender, but on Monday I thought he was really, really good. His experience and leadership in there was massive for us, and I thought defensively he played quite well, to be fair. He got quite an early yellow card in the match, and he didn't really let that affect him, and I do think he had quite a good game, so I'm looking forward to seeing him play against his former side this weekend. And at left centre-back, completing the back three, I've gone with Jack Shepherd. He had some good moments and some shaky moments on Monday, but on the whole, I think he has been pretty solid for us so far this season. Obviously, with him being our only fit and available natural left-footed centre-back, he kind of does have to play with Kieran Kelly going to miss the next few months of action with that foot or ankle injury, one of the two. In terms of my holding midfielder, I've gone with the captain, Richie Smallwood. I thought it was much better performance from Smallwood at, I was going to say at the weekend, I keep thinking we played at the weekend, on Monday though, against Newport, and I think this formation gets the best out of him. I don't think it really works him having a midfield partner. He needs to play in that lone sixth position by himself, and I think you do get the best out of Smallwood. Obviously, you could potentially go Corey Evans, but I don't see that happening in a million years. It is just now nice to see that Richie Smallwood is going to have some natural competition to play in his position, and we're not going to shoehorn a Patterson or a Clark-Adore into this team, so Smallwood would start for me as my holding midfielder. In terms of my right wing back, I've gone with Jay Ben. He was brilliant on Monday night. How he didn't get the Sky Man of the match, I'll never know, but again, that probably does come down to lazy journalism. 2 assists for him, and he's got, I think, 3 or 4 assists now in all competitions for us. I remember he got an assist on his debut coming on off the bench against Newcastle's under-21s, and I think going forward, he is a big threat. His crossing ability is absolutely fantastic. I've been very impressed by his impressive crossing so far, and like I say, 2 assists for him on Monday, and he definitely has to start. The way he's just displaced a player who got into the League 2 team in the season last year like it's nothing. It's brilliant to see, and it's a big credit to Jay Ben, but also a slight hindrance on how poor Brad Halliday has been so far this season. In terms of my 2 number 8s then, at firstly I've gone with Jamie Walker. We are a better team with him playing, and obviously with Sarcevic and Patterson out injured, I think Sarcevic's going to be out for the long term as well, which is so frustrating. We were told that he was going to be 1 or 2 months. He's been out for 6-7 weeks, and he's still got a couple months remaining of his injury, so no idea what's going on with Sarcevic. But in terms of Jamie Walker, he has a big part to play in all 3 goals. Obviously, he scores our second goal, and he gets the pre-assist for our first and our third goal as well. And I think he's got some really nice link-up play with Jay Ben on our right-hand side, and Tranmere have got a pretty long pitch. I wouldn't say it's necessarily wide, but it certainly seems like a very long pitch, and hopefully he can pick out them balls in behind for Jay Ben. And I think he had a really, really good game on Monday. And partnering him, I've gone with Bobby Poynton. Now, he needs to kind of break this stigma which he's kind of building around Poynton, where he's not very good when he starts, but he's a very, very good impact substitute. And again, we saw it on Monday. Came on off the bench after starting the last couple of matches, not really impressing. Came on off the bench on Monday and had a really good game. Goal, assist, and he needs to start doing that on a more consistent basis from the off. And Clark-Adore I thought was really, really poor. Lack of options in that midfield means Poynton deserves another opportunity to start, and I hope alongside Jamie Walker in this formation he can take that opportunity, take that chance, and hopefully come up with another goal or 2 in this one. And completing my midfield 4 then, at left wing back I've gone with Tariq Wright. I look at the options in there, and Wright probably is the best one at this moment in time. A few people were saying I was overly critical of Wright's performance on Monday, but I think it's because he can be a good player and he's just not showing it. He gets into all the right areas, all the right positions, and it's that final ball, it's so frustrating. I think he attempted between 13 and 16 crosses on Monday, only 1 of them was accurate. That's simply not good enough. Yes, you can sometimes put it down to the strikers or the midfielders not getting in the right positions, but if your cross isn't beating the first man, the strikers can't really do much about that. His final ball has to be much better, because we've seen he can put in some good crosses. He doesn't need to be whipping them in at the front post. Just hang them up to the back stick, and Andy Cook is going to score goals for fun at this level. I think defensively there's still a lot to work on with Tariq Wright, but I don't really think he had much defensive work to do on Monday, apart from obviously Newport's goal. He fails to stop the cross, the ball comes in. Yes, Diabate should do better, but Tyreek Wright has to work harder to stop crosses coming into the box. And for me personally, I do think he is our best option to start there at left wing backs. I don't think Adorn Richards have been amazing in the last couple of matches. As my two strikers then, firstly I've gone with Andy Cook. He should currently be the joint leading league goal scorer in this division, but obviously he was robbed with that goal that he did score against Salford, and it was not given. He should be on 6, he's currently on 5. I think he's got 7 in all competitions so far this season. Obviously he loves a goal against his former side, normally scores against Tranmere in this fixture as well, so fingers crossed he can come up with another goal. I'm partnering him for the first time this season. I'm going to go with Tyler Smith. I think Callum Kavanagh has been really poor in the last couple of matches and for the large part this season. He looks a shadow of his self from last season. Ollie Sanderson, I'm not too sure what's going on with him, but not even on the bench on Tuesday. And obviously Viden Oliver is a little bit too similar, and I think Tyler Smith has been a bit of a threat on off the bench in the last couple of matches. Played quite a big part in our goal against Morecambe. He wins the free kick and he gets the pre-assist for that. On Tuesday I thought he was a bit of a threat and had a decent chance, which I think if he's got a bit more match sharpness he might potentially take that one. And while I have been a big critic of Tyler Smith throughout his time at Bradford City, I think based on our options it probably is about time that he deserves the opportunity to start a match in the league for Bradford City. In terms of my substitutions then, I've gone with Colin Doyle, Brad Halliday, Paul Huntington, Lewis Richards, Corey Evans, Ollie Sanderson and Viden Oliver. So the players currently unavailable are Aidan Baldwin due to a lack of training according to Graham Alexander, Callum Johnson, Kieran Kelly, Alex Patterson, Anthony Sarsvik, who again is still going to be out for another few months despite, like I mentioned earlier, it being a 1 to 2 month injury. He's been out for 6 or 7 weeks. How can he still have a few months remaining? Don't really understand it. And obviously Joe Adams, who is going to miss the remainder of the season. So the players who miss out then through selection will be Zach Cady, Gabriel Wadsworth and Callum Kavanagh. In terms of my score prediction, make sure to go over to the main channel to check that one out. Thank you all so much for watching. Make sure to drop a like on there for me and subscribe to the channel as well if you are new. Can we try and hit 50 likes on today's video? That would be massively appreciated. And don't forget to get your score prediction and starting 11 in down in the comment section down below, and I'll see you very soon for another one.